Just having a few problems with this new batch of pigs. They've settled in quite good, but there are a few tail biting. And see, these have got long tails. They haven't been docked. Through regulations, through laws. Well, I think it was European laws that you aren't allowed to dock their tails. And then they start eating each other from back end. You know, they start chewing on their tails and creating problems. So yes, they can see a little bit of cruelty when they're when the piglets just nipping their tails off, which they'd get. Well, it's just like trapping your finger. But it gets rid of the problem of tail biting. I don't know why they don't, you know, which if you've seen one what's really badly tail bitten and you've missed it and they've eaten the tail off and really damaged it, you know, you'd think that little 2-minute procedure when the piglets saves all that. But what happens when the tail bite? They end up with abscesses on their spines. And we end up with like lame pigs. Some of them have to be destroyed, some of them we can treat with antibiotics. But so yeah, some of these rules don't really add up. They think it's an anti-cruelty rule, but you know, when you get a problem like we've got, it's horrendous. So anyway, but what we're doing to combat it, we're putting loads of straw in every day. We're putting straw in, and it occupies them, and they get nestled in their little beds, and it seems to be stopping it. We're getting on top of it. So right, bought a bird scarer. I'm going to put it on. So well, I've seen them in fields, but watching Harry's farm other day, and he bought one of these. So I went on the internet, bought one myself, a kite, to see if we can keep them bloody pigeons up. How noisy these come from Russet Market. Some lovely looking stuff. Mostly heifers, there's a couple of bullocks among them, but you know, some really nice shaped stuff. But they were quite expensive, they were big money. But there was nothing cheap. I mean, you either have to be brave or pack in, I think. There will be a little bit in them, but so hopefully we're off to see some Hereford heifers today. And whether we buy it, I don't know, because it's still jumping in feet first. I've still got a few more ideas to sort of lull over. Maybe a few more different breeds. My dad's mentioned longhorns or shorthorns, which there's one in here actually. Oh, this has possibly got some shorthorn in it. I would say by its colour and its features. And it's a lovely shaped thing. And I think they're a bit hardier than such as your limmies and your blues. So I don't know. That's something to think about. These shorthorn. This will be I would have thought a shorthorn out of a shorthorn bull out of a dairy herd. So I don't know. Yeah, they look good. Now them limmies are a bit flighty though. When we wormed them the other day, we run them through a passage. Well, we didn't worm them actually. That's a lie. It was that snort up nose, that IBR thing. Ooh, some of them limmies would have gone straight through you. You know, they look placid as out now. But as soon as you start doing out with them, they go like, I don't know, they see red mist. And all they want to do is run straight through you. Just brought a kite over. I bought it off the internet, look. It's a 7-metre pole with like a kite in shape of a some kind of bird of prey, and bloody hell, it's quite good actually. 32 quid, made in China like. So whether it'll last or a good windy day it'll blow it to bits, I don't know, time will tell. But yeah, it looks the part actually. So yeah, quite impressed. I'm quite impressed with my rape now. Yeah, a little bit thin here. The curb, actually the curb is starting to take its toll on the black grass, starting to kill them grass weeds. There's a lot come, but good chemical is curb. It seems to clean it out 100%. You know, it just takes so long to work though, but it is starting to curl it over. So yeah, it's a bit thin in this area, but I mean, that when it starts to grow in spring, sometimes these thin crops produce more grain than the real thick lush crops. So Yeah, quite pleased with that. 32 quid off eBay. Made in China though. Why don't we make it? I don't know. Why ain't an English company making such as that? And why can't we make it? If it's all about price, why can't we make it for that price? So anyway, well, I'm just going to jump across edge and have a look at some wheat at the other side where I'm concerned about some slug damage, but it's getting greener and greener per day. So I think it's tillering and I think it's going to be alright. And that's really our only field what's a bit of a disaster, apart from a massive wet hole because of that spring up vermi, which I'll show you. I've got a minute to go. But it's cold today, freezing fog. All trees are starting to get covered in like white frost. God, am I going to get wet here? Yeah, man. Whoop. Ooh, nearly. Actually, it's tillering. It looks all right. But there, look at that line. It's got a bit extra seed on headland, but that extra bit of cultivation, where it's got double whammy on power, has done it a world of good. I mean, yes, it's thin. It's very, very thin, is that. But lesson learned. Better seed bed. I mean, power at times when knackered, we thought, oh, it'll be right, keep going. There was seed on top. No, it's not the answer. What a bloody mess. We had cattle out. 32 cattle running about yesterday, and it's a real foggy day. You couldn't see, well, you could see your hand in front of you, but it was quite thick fog. And well, they got out, they went down Beck about a quarter of a mile that way, and then they just all of a sudden just came home. Ran down this side through between the buildings, and we got them penned up in between the buildings and got them back in, but it could have gone so wrong. We were so lucky. So yeah, yesterday afternoon running about sort of swearing at each other and chasing cattle for an hour, but anyway, so a few people had asked about machinery and one thing or another, and kind of a bit of a yard sale. Well, to be fair, at the moment we've got very, very little to sell. We sold a lot of stuff last week actually. What did we sell? Sprayer, front tank, all sorts of stuff. I can't really remember, but I know we were fairly busy. Oh, 2 trailers. Yeah, 2 trailers. So that old someone described it as the trailer what had been in a train crash. That trailer we got out of York, we got that away, so I was going to make a body for it. But yeah, fairly busy, but we've got not a lot to sell, but I'll show you what we have. I mean, there's this straw chopper been in a fire, but I mean, it ain't dear. It had £1,000 like, and it would go to work, but you just need to sort the hydraulics out. Farm Force 4 metre trail press, 400 quid. Big cultivator, big heavy duty 4 metre cultivator, £1,000. That's sold. Mower, I think sold. A set of discs, they're going to New Zealand. We'll put them in a container with that trailer. Simba 4 metre single press. What have we got on that? I think it's £1,000. This Timag press, there's a bearing on, and a few front tines missing, but it's a hell of a piece of kit. 1,400 quid. D-mount spray. There is a man semi-interested in that. He's going to take booms off it. He's yet to ring back. He said he was going to ring Monday. Set of discs, 1,800 quid. Good set of discs now. Very tight. Got this jalop here. It's a frame off a big 8 metre drill actually, but I tell you what idea of making a stubble rake. You know, whether I will or whether I won't. Oh, I saw that other day. That's going to Jersey. That's going to Jersey. 3 metre Cousins press. 1200, I think. 1200 quid. That's the right press, to be honest. Fat money. Tated topper. I've had that ages. It's really taking some selling. In fact, it's off to York Machinery Sale to get a shut of that. Want to get a bit of stuff tidied up, like, you know, just bung it in sales, get a shut of it, whatever it makes. Slurry stirrer, big slurry stirrer. Good one, actually. Lifeboat, if you want one. Couple of hoppers. The rest of it's just basically bits and pieces of things we might use. Couple of cultivators, Kong-skilled cultivators for a press. Bit of a conveyor here. Good conveyor, actually. Lighting tower, £1,000, but we can't seem to get any. The engine will run and it'll hydraulic go up and down, but the lights sometimes flicker, but very faint. So whether there's something wrong with the generator, I don't know. But £1,000 just to get rid of it. A hydraulic brush. If someone wanted to make their own sweeper brush. In fact, it's a hell of a thing, this, you know. But what it come off, I don't know. But if someone wanted to make their own bucket brush, it's the right thing. 400 quid. Our Oliver's logging business. He sells logs from my mum's farm on the roadside. £6 a bag, actually. He's had some compliments that they're good value. So if you want any logs, give him a shout. Down at my mum's there at Bealby, if you're local. Yeah, it's something else keeps him out of mischief. Ended up with a black eye through it though. Don't know whether you saw in one of the previous videos. One twatted him in head. In log split, it just I saw it. It was he was lucky he didn't lose an eye. So right, I think that's it now. I'm off to make sure hoppers are filled up, feed these cattle, and then have a quick look around pigs, and then that's it. We've got family coming for a Sunday roast, so something to look forward to. So if you like these videos, I'll just show you it. Went to see my mate's cattle race this morning. What a thing! You know, a right thing. This is not going to be nothing like it, but I mean, we're making it up as we go along. But he had like a circling, no corners, and they just sort of swept them round down a race into a real fancy crush. Well, we're going to buy a fancy crush, something a bit special. But what we've done so far, it's wide enough, I know, because everybody's sort of commented that, oh, I bet you're racing wide enough. Well, yeah, a big stock bull, you'd maybe get him wedged. But no, they'll go down there, no problem. But yeah, we've got another gate, that little gate. We've got another pillar to go in here. We're short of metal. A mate of mine's starting us some metal tomorrow, but another pillar's to go in there with that little gate there. There's a sliding gate what goes on here to sort of block them off, so we can open that gate and work at the back of the cattle in this crush. And then we've put this pillar in here, and we're going to have two concrete barriers, two concrete panels there, so we can have a gate at front here, a holding pen there, which we can run out them cattle into this side, or that cattle into that side, and sort of, yeah, well, I'm maybe not making any sense, but I sort of know, you know, you'll get the gist of it as we do it. But yeah, because we've been working behind gates and temporary crush jobs, we've got a race down at other farm, but I mean, nowadays safety, innit, you know, if someone's going to get killed, like, especially with some of these limmies my dad's buys, because they're a little bit headstrong. Yeah, you were free range yesterday, weren't you lot? They're putting some grub away. Serious amount of food. But sometimes you come and they're all laid out chewing their cud. They're all sat down. They've all stood up now. It's just a bit strange, but whether it's because I've sort of upset them a bit. but they're just all there sort of chewing their cud, sort of putting beef on. Just checking pigs before I go in and getting a bit of a cough. I think it's this damp weather like. Just have to keep an eye on it. What we'll do, we'll put some stuff in water like. And it'll sort job out, but yeah, distinct cough actually. Oh, they're mucky, you know. I want some strawing first thing in the morning. Right, that's it for me. If you like this video, if you like these videos, give us a tick and a subscribe. A like and a subscribe, I should say. And do a couple a week. We might change it now. I don't know whether to put one midweek and one on a weekend, because like Friday and Sunday are a bit close together maybe. And to be fair, there ain't a lot happening. What's happening here? There ain't a lot happening at this time of year, so it's a bit steady. But when we get into spring, we've got a few projects we'll get going with. Yeah. Right, bye for now.